Oh, hello there. Didn't see you. You know, a lot of people just think that wine is just another thing to go with dinner or to use to get drunk. I know that at a time, I definitely have been one of these people. I've come to find out, however, that there is much more to wine than just being a drink. My name is Oliver Miller-Finkel, and for the past 9 weeks I've been on a personal journey through the world of wine and wine culture. I've been tasting wines, learning about the way that it's valued in different cultures, talking with experts about wine, and having quite a bit of fun in the process. This video I've created gives you an idea about what I've been up to this past semester, as well as what I've learned. I'm going to give you a brief history of wine, followed by a bit about what I've learned about wine, as well as the community that surrounds it, and then I'm going to let you watch a real-life blind taste test in action. With luck, I hope that you'll have some fun and maybe learn something too. Wine has been around for quite some time. Earliest known to be in was now Georgia, about 8,000 years ago. It's said that the Balkans were the first to popularize wine in about 4500 BC, and it became more common with time as it thrived in ancient Greece and Rome. As I'm sure you are aware, wine has also played an important role in religion throughout history. The Greek god Dionysus and the Roman equivalent Bacchus represented wine, and the drink is also used in the Christian Eucharist ceremony as well as many Jewish ceremonies. I've learned a lot about wine, wine tasting, and wine culture in these last 9 weeks. I've found that there is a deep culture surrounding wine. Luckily for me, there's a very strong wine culture around my school, the University of Colorado in Boulder. The affluent academic society surrounding the school fosters a strong wine community where people go to great lengths to grow as wine enthusiasts. Because of this great culture in Boulder, I've been able to taste a wide variety of wines in the last 9 weeks. Although many of the wines that I tasted were delicious, I've come to realize that I have a taste for red wines, especially those from the Tuscan region of Italy. Through my discussions with a master sommelier of the Boulder Wine Merchant in Boulder, Colorado, I discovered that these wines' grapes are exposed to the perfect mixture of humid air and fertile soil. These grapes produce a red wine that varies greatly in appearance, texture, smell, and taste when compared to an Argentinian Malbec, for example. When asked to create a presentation on how wine is relevant to culture, it seemed to be a no-brainer. I thought that it was simple enough that wine came from all around the world, and therefore it would be easy to relate it to culture. However, I have come to realize that wine culture is much bigger than one state, region, country, or even continent. Wine culture includes anyone who wishes to drink wine for more than just alcohol or for a routine. The most difficult part of this project was somehow making wine and culture specific to me. I wanted to avoid just generally commenting on wine and make something that could help other young wine enthusiasts grow as members of wine culture. I thought that wine tasting using other young subjects would achieve this. Not only would I be able to teach others a little bit about tasting wine, I would be able to help them decipher what type of wine they like. I like to think that through this staging, I would create 4 new young members of the wine community. Let's take a look at how this wine tasting would really turn out. Alright, I'm going to ask you to taste 6 wines in the next few minutes. Take your time in every aspect of the tasting. In between each wine, please have a sip of water to cleanse your palate. The point of this blind taste test is to discover which type of wine you like. I want you to first examine the wine by holding up the glass to the light and tilting it at about 45 degrees. Observe the color and transparency. Next, and maybe most importantly, I want you to swirl the wine in the glass and then smell the wine, inhaling deeply to get every aroma. Don't be afraid to put your nose all the way in the glass and get a real whiff of it. Look for aromas of fruits and flowers. Many times one can describe wines using these smells as references. Finally, taste the wine. Don't just drink it like water. Let the wine roll over your taste buds for a moment so that you can get all of the taste. I'm not going to tell you which wines you're tasting until after you have tasted all 6, and then I'll explain the differences. Hopefully you will notice differences as we move from lighter wines to darker wines. we started this 6-wine taste test with a nice Chardonnay, followed by a Pinot Grigio, followed by a Sauvignon Blanc, followed by a Rosé, then a Malbec, and then finally a Pinot Noir. So, of numbers 1 through 6, which wine was your favorite?
5, the Malbec.
Number 5.
5.
Yeah, funny enough, I'd have to say 5 as well.
Oh, hello again. Back so soon? As you can see from this short wine tasting, there are countless different types of wines in the world. Wines are as diverse as the people that produce it. I only chose 6 types of wine amongst a wide variety of whites and reds available. This wine tasting was interesting because each of the participants were in agreement on their favorite wine, the Malbec. However, many times there will be much variety amongst favorites of wine tasters. One thing can be said though, there's no substitute for wine tasting process. Before you have examined a wine, smelled it, and tasted it, it's very difficult to judge the wine, as I've found throughout my personal wine journey. I hope that this short film has been both enjoyable as well as informative. Next time I hope that we can share a glass of wine together. Now, there's nothing left to say but, salud!